See right there? See, it's recording.
So as long as that's going, we're good. Okay. So I promised Stacey O'Gorman of Alba Whistles that I would do a review of the bass whistles. I got an A and a bass A, a bass B, and a bass tenor C, and they're all made from the same size tubing. So here's the B, this is the C, and then this is my bass A. You may be able to see from there I have a purple. It's got like a purple and blue marbled fipple block, and then the B has a looks like a black fipple block, and then this one, the C, is my favorite. It's got like a green and gold kind of swirly thing. So it's interesting how she does that. I also have my Chieftain V3. Just for reference, it's got a similar design in the Windway, and so I figured, but it's a narrower bore. So here's the V3 for your. Yeah, I've been busy with school, and I have a week break before I start my new job. So I just wanted to knock this out real quick. So. V3, and then the C is I think you can see probably the tubing almost fits in the V3, almost fits into the tubing of the bass C whistle, which makes for the only other low C whistle I have. The tubing was pretty narrow, and it wasn't a very powerful whistle. This is a very robust whistle, but I like the way it plays. There's the Alba C. Then here's the Alba B. So you can already see it's mellowed out from the bore of the C. So there you go. I apologize for my playing. I've not been practicing for like 3 or 4 months. So here's the bass A. This is the song where the tune I wanted to be able to have a bass A whistle for was the Autumn Child Heaton Chapel by Lunasa. So it was the anyway, that was the first tune I went home. As soon as I got this song, I put that on put it on my speakers. I was really excited to be able to play along with it. So this one's a little bit more, it's more difficult to handle. The stretch is longer, obviously, than on the other whistles. This is the B. And you can see the difference between the B and C is or the A is pretty significant, and the stretch on A obviously is a little bit longer. It's a little bit of a transition between when you're going, let's see. it's right here where the octave changes, and I noticed that on my homemade bass A that was kind of the tricky part. So as you get familiar with it, it becomes more. Like you can kind of back off your breath a little bit, or increase a little bit. You can smooth that transition out a bit, and it's been a while since I've played at all, so I'm having a little bit of difficulty, but. See that? So you have to be careful. It tends to be flatter on the would be the C sharp, I guess on a D or a D whistle. So. You blow a little bit harder. But ultimately, I feel like this is just kind of a whistle that you can play certain tunes on, and it's just a nice, it's a relaxing, mellow whistle. It's fun to play. And like I said, it's a bit of a stretch, a little bit heavy. Sometimes my hands get tired holding it. So the C seems more like a general purpose. Amethyst, you're making noise right next to the camera with the collar. So it's the C is a little bit snappier, but still like a deeper, rich, robust tone, and the B is kind of in the middle. So I think the B of the three, I think the B is my favorite. It's balanced, kind of. It's got that low, mellow, just fun to. stretch isn't quite as bad as the A, or isn't quite as tough as the A, it's a little bit more relaxing for me to just play on. But again, it's got that deep, mellow voice. I really enjoy just noodling around on that. I think that's why I had ended up with 2 videos that I played the bass B on. Is that the C is a little bit harsher, but still pleasant. I find myself kind of, each one has their own characteristics. So it's the A. So, and the same is the C. Maybe not harsher. It's just a louder whistle. But again, each one of them, I think I'm glad I chose the ones that I did. The only one I didn't get was the B flat, because I kind of wanted to put each one. I couldn't decide whether I wanted it to be a half step down from the C or a half step up from the A. So I went ahead and I let Stacy make that call. I asked her to choose the one that sounded better. If the B was sounded a little bit nicer, then go ahead and give me a B, and if the B flat was a little bit better, then go ahead and give me the B flat. So she sent me a B. I don't know if that's because it was the nicer one or if that's just the one that she thought I wanted, but I'm really happy with the B. It's a little bit brighter than the A, a little bit easier to handle. It'd be interesting at some point to try out a B flat and see the difference, but so far each one of these has a characteristic that I like, and I kind of go back and forth playing between all of them, and they're different enough to where I feel like it's not like I'm playing just the same whistle slightly up. It's like each one has their own personality, and I like that, and they're all enjoyable to play. So I'm very pleased. All the bass whistles, I've been playing them for a few months now. They are or not playing them, but had them for a few months. I played them on and off long enough to kind of get familiar with them, and they are pretty much everything I hoped they would be. It's what I wanted in bass whistles. I've been wanting bass whistles for a long time, and I'm very thrilled with the albums. They've got a great tone and character in there, in the voicing of them. So I am pleased, and I would highly recommend, if you're interested in bass whistles at a very reasonable price, the Alba whistles are fantastic. So thanks.